My name is Spencer.
This is my state, this is my team. You know what that means. This is for the black and blue that I bleed. This is for the chance to bring home that ring. But everybody gonna doubt this. So far there ain't been another way around it. We bring heat to the game each week. They just say we ain't got what it takes, we ain't bout it. Well, y'all can just keep saying that we ain't gonna make it, but at the end of the day, this'll be the Panthers nation. You know, this ain't a game to us major players at every angle that you can think of. That's why you hate us. Get out the way of greatness. You can look at our faces and see the blood, sweat, and tears that it took to create this. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, but you can save it. Cause even on the darkest of days, you know we're always gonna find a way to tell them what we gonna do, we gotta
Welcome on in. Welcome on in. It is week 14 in the NFL. which to us means absolutely nothing as a franchise, but to everyone else it does. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell, select all, leave a comment down below if you feel like doing so. And don't forget to check out the Facebook page. Keep pounding in all caps. The Facebook group page has the schedules of the channel, in-game posts, polls, opinions, and reactions to NFL news. And the Yahoo Sports Fantasy Football League information. So, let's get into this. Let's get into this meaningless week of Panthers football. There's just no point in really dragging this out any longer. Yeah, I gotta say what I gotta say. Stop winning meaningless games. Stop winning meaningless games. This game today means nothing to you. It doesn't matter. All it's going to do is hurt our draft stock, guys. I'm just going to get that out of the way right out of the gate. Winning meaningless games can cost us a draft spot, which, by the way, the year that we got J.C. Horn, it cost us Penei Sewell, a veteran tackle that was a Pro Bowler. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he got picked up a pick before we did. Before we picked up J.C. Horn. That caused us to pick up J.C. Horn. Now, I'm not saying that J.C. Horn is a bad pick. I'm saying he's an excellent pick. You know, for the time that we needed him. He's been a great corner for us. But my problem is, why pick up your second choice when you can pick up your first? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just, we keep doing this to ourselves. All because we had to have that revenge game against Ron Rivera in Washington. Who cares? It doesn't mean anything. You're out of the playoffs. What are you gaining? Shout out to Austin Lohman. Shout out to Sean Bradham. Shout out to CJ Smith. Everybody's wanting us to get a win today, man. Look, y'all don't seem to understand why this is important, guys. Y'all don't seem to understand. And if you hear my laptop going in the background, that sounds like a freaking snowblower. You know, it's a new gaming laptop. Got it for $500, you know, on Black Friday, so don't mind the sound. But at this point, what is even the point of trying to win this game? You're not gaining anything. Chris DePore is not going to become head coach. We already established that. Tepper's not going to hire him. You know, the thing is, if Tepper doesn't hire Chris DePore, everybody's gone. Everybody is gone. He's got one last shot to save this franchise, and he won't do it. Because he's too dumb to understand that this is the right move to make. So, one of two things is going to happen. Either we slide into a 20-year win drought, or we try to go after Bill Belichick and everyone is tainted because of his cheating ways. That is rock bottom in the NFL. You don't go any lower than that, folks. You don't go any lower. I'm just trying to tell you that right now. And the fact that people really actually want Bill Belichick here shows the levels of desperation that we have hit as a franchise. Because we have decided that this was the best, quote unquote, the best option for us. You know what? if I've got to spend an hour lecturing you guys on integrity of the game, then I shouldn't even be streaming. Because there's just no point. There's no getting to you. There's no making sense of any of this. We know he's a cheater. We know Bill Belichick is a cheater. And he's not going to change his stripes just because he comes to Carolina. Okay, Deflategate. You know, come on. Spygate. The man's not going to change his stripes just because he comes to Carolina. Oh, I'm suddenly a good guy again. No, that's not how that works. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Look at Tom Brady. He cheated on his old wife for the game of football. So he could have an extra year. So he could have an extra year of football. He left his wife. Now, I admire his passion for the game, but to what point? To what point do you say this is too much? That's where integrity comes in. Tom Brady's got no integrity for the game. Yeah, he's won all those trophies, but he's got no integrity for the game. Bill Belichick may have been an excellent coach with Tom Brady, but he's got no integrity for the game. Because he's been caught cheating with Spygate and Deflategate. Y'all see what I'm getting at here? I don't want that man anywhere near this freaking team. Unless we're playing against him. I don't want him setting foot in this building in Boa. At all. I don't want him anywhere near my players. Are we that desperate that we're willing to risk the integrity of the game just to win some trophies and get some wins? If we're actually that desperate, that makes me sick to my stomach as a Panthers fan. I can't abide by that. I can't do it. I cannot do it. There are at least 5 other coaches out there you can hire that are better suited for this franchise, that have more integrity than that man has in his little finger. That's a fact. Say like Ben Johnson for one. Eric Bieniemy, who we've all suggested is the best option for us. No? Let's maybe hire Chris DePort. No, we don't want that either. Why would we want that? Chris DePort makes too much freaking sense. Why would we ever hire somebody that actually makes sense? So around and round we go for the next 20 years doing the same stupid monkey nonsense. Monkey see, monkey do. And we expect things to change in Carolina with an idiot owner that doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to football. He may know he may understand what he's doing with hedge funds and might be a smart businessman. But I even question that as far as like his intelligence when it comes to running a business, because one, you have cost this franchise so much money, dude. You have cost this franchise so much money, and that's coming from a businessman that actually has a degree. Good sir. I got a 2-year associate's degree, and I actually understand about business, alright? Way better than he does right now. And I've been preaching on it every single week, what he should be doing, and why he should be doing it, and how he can maximize his money. One, get rid of that doggone turf, which the NFLPA is forcing you to get rid of. 2, which is costing a lot of injuries just in practice alone. 2, pay Wofford and keep the training camp down in Spartanburg. Well, you got to move that crap up to Charlotte. There's no reason to. There's no reason to. You're not going to pay these event staff that have been nothing but nice to these people? Nothing but nice and kind individuals to us? And have done everything right that we've asked them to do? And then some? Heck, every time I walk in that spring training camp, I have a good mood. Every August, man. I'm in a good mood because of these event staff people. You know, that's saying something. They don't have to say hi. They don't have to treat me with kindness. They don't have to put a smile on their face every time they greet a Panthers fan. Because some of these guys are Panthers fans themselves. Y'all didn't think about that, did you? Mr. Tepper. Not to mention you're hurting the small businesses around Spartanburg. That's costing them money too. Businesses like Monster Sub and Grub, who we streamed out of. Yeah, we were looking to make that a yearly thing. I was going to have Blitz join me once a year and stream down there. But no, that ain't going to happen. No, because Mr. Tepper doesn't understand what he's doing to this franchise. These fans were coming out for the team. They weren't coming out for you. Good sir. They were coming out for your team. Your team, which you have ruined by hiring 2 horrible head coaches and costing ticket sales, a lack of merch sales, a lack of food sales. That's all on you, sir, as a business owner. You don't understand what you're doing to your own franchise. No, you seem to care more about your stupid soccer team than this football team that's been here longer than that soccer team ever has even lit a finger of creation. That soccer team hadn't even put its foot in the ground, and you've already fired a coach. You don't play soccer on turf. Idiot. And you wonder why all these injured players are sitting on your IR list for soccer and football, and why you're not winning. Gee, I don't know. Maybe it's because you were forced to change out this turf that you were willing to sit on for the next 20 freaking years. I swear, let him say something smart about business owning in the next presser. Let him say something. I will rip him to shreds. Because I got so much to say on that right now, it's not even funny. I'm done protecting somebody that doesn't want to help this team. That wants to damage it instead. That is too dumb and ignorant to understand what he is doing to it. I'm done defending that. No. You have not given me a single thing worth defending you on when it comes to this franchise. I'll sit down and I'll have lunch with him. I'll conversate about it. Anything else you want to talk about. But don't talk about football with me, Mr. Tepper. Just don't. I don't care what you did with your communities. I don't care what you did with your soccer team. That doesn't matter to me. That's all riffraff and extra talk for me. That's conversations to fill the gap in time that we're spending together. You know? And that's fine and all. But if I was to meet a Panthers owner, I want to talk about Panthers football. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about good things that are happening within this organization. I don't want to talk about all the toxic stuff. I don't want to talk about all the negative nonsense. I want to talk about what's actually going right and how we can improve this team even further towards the future. And I want that owner to hear me when I offer suggestions. You know, he don't have to take them. Just listen. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. But no, we got an owner that doesn't care about that. He doesn't care what we have to say. In fact, he twists our words and uses them against us. So, what's this about? Oh, I'm not going to stand for mediocrity. That's my line. You stole my line. And I'm sorry if this sounds like a broken record each week, but doggone it, this is where we are. Find me something else to talk about that's actually positive with this team. Find me something. I'm to that point where I can't do this anymore. I'm going to keep repeating the same garbage topics over and over again because there's nothing else to talk about. You know? And I know people are not going to want to hear it. Because either that or they feed off the negativity, and I don't understand it. I'm not here for the negative stuff, man. I'm not here for the toxic stuff. I want to improve this franchise. But since this team just doesn't seem to care about moving forward and doing the right thing, here we are. We keep making the same dumb decisions and turning the wheel again and again and again in a doggone catch-22. And y'all are expecting something different out of this? For what reason? Your expectations are too high. I'm being realistic. I've been down here, bro. Welcome to the party. Grab a crappy party favor and a messed up lemonade. Because we're going to be here for a while. What's up, Richard? Shout out to you. You know, and when I go and try to get new subscribers to this channel, I want to talk about something positive. I don't want to talk about Tepper. I don't want to talk about Frank Wright. I don't want to talk about Matt Rule. I don't want to talk about everybody, you know, throwing shade at Bryce Young when he only halfway deserves it. No, that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is I want to shed some light on the positive things that are going on, like this defense. You know? Like this secondary who is finally back together. And looking better than they've been all year. Is it a perfect corner room? No. But is it satisfactory for what we need to do? Yes. Which is get through the rest of the year. And I'm telling you, if we had this corner room healthy all year long, or at least most of the year, we could have done some serious damage. But you can't predict injuries. Like Blitz said, you know, you can't predict injuries. That kind of thing happens. Unless your offensive line is the one causing them. You know? That's where we've been for 8 years. We're still trying to fix that O-line. Still, in 2023, still trying to fix it. And it ain't fixed yet. I'm beyond frustrated with this ownership, with this management, minus Christopher and Evero Ajaro. Everybody else, I'm beyond frustrated with. Even James Campen to a degree. And even James Campen, who comes in touting that Green Bay offensive line resume, I've even been frustrated with him this year. But here's the thing. He showed improvements on the line, barely, but they were there. They were noticeable on Sunday against the Bucks. I don't think people really noticed it, but it was there. I pointed it out in the last live stream when we were doing the live stream reaction of the game against the Buccaneers, but it was there. Do y'all realize how many times Icky has let people through because he was on an island over there? And I mean, Icky's not the greatest left tackle in the world. He's not the worst left tackle out there by far. You know? But at least he got, you know, at least he showed improvement when you put some help over there. And we got Nash Jensen. We got, what's his name? Justin McCray back. And it helped. By the way, where's Nash Jensen been hiding on our depth chart? Does anybody know? Justin Jensen. This dude's been sitting on our depth chart the entire time. Are you kidding me? That is further proving the ineptitude of Frank Wright and his ignorance on how to to use a depth chart correctly and evaluate players correctly, who had no business being a coach here in the first place. But yeah, you notice what happened when we fixed the offensive line and started bumping people up. Look what happened. You know, he only had one person go through him that Saturday and make him look like a turnstile. Most other games, he was letting people go like crazy. And I'm not even talking about it. Some of the veteran people, like Aiden Hutchinson and all those pass rushers. No, I'm talking about just the average journeyman pass rushers. We're getting past this dude because we left him on a doggone island. That is ineptness from our coaching staff. And you're starting to see the results of what is changing and making things better after Frank left. I can name about half a dozen things that changed in that game compared to the rest of the season. Starting with that one. And people still want to throw Bryce under the bus, you know, when, yes, half the problem is Bryce. Yes, I will admit that, but has he been developed properly? No, he hasn't. By a head coach that has no idea how to develop quarterbacks, and they call him, quote-unquote, the quarterback whisperer. So, what I'm saying to you is Bryce has that potential in him. You've got to keep him upright and not laying on the ground, first of all. Secondly, you got to develop him. You got to teach him. He can't be doing the same rookie mistake stuff into year 2 because you didn't develop him correctly. I'm going to read this comment real quick. Mason says, man, I've been so frustrated with these Panther groups. I've seen everyone want to talk about CJ Stroud, how we should have drafted him, but he's better. Like, dang, can't we give Bryce a fair chance before everyone says he's a bust? I think these kids are going to be special. He's just in an impossible situation. Exactly. I do not think he's a bust. Exactly. He's not a bust. Stop this. Stop this. He's not a bust. I watched him in person. Okay? I watched him in person. He is definitely not a bust. At all. So yeah, I got to push back hard on that narrative. I got to push back hard. I don't know who. First of all, what is everyone's value of a quarterback? Secondly, what do you think a bust is? You know, when you have that conversation. A bust to me is a healthy quarterback for 3 to 4 years that has not lifted his team at all, despite having every chance to do so. You know, and at least lifting the team to 8-8. Now, who does that describe to you? Justin Fields. That describes Justin Fields. That man's been in the league for 3 to 4 years now. He hasn't done a doggone thing to lift the Bears out of trouble. He's had help on the O-line occasionally. He's had wide receivers given to him, DJ Moore. He's had defensive help now. And you still can't lift this team to 8-8? DJ should not be your only wide receiver option if you're the Chicago Bears. You have other wide receivers. But oh wait, you didn't surround him with the best ones. Because your GM's an idiot. And this has been the same stuff that's been happening for the past 7 years with the Bears. No, try 10. 10 or more. Now, Justin Fields to me never had that talent. That type of talent that we're talking about here with Bryce Young. Some might argue it, some might disagree. I don't think he ever had it. 3 years in the league, healthy, and this dude's a bust. Sorry, it needs to be said. Justin Fields is a bust. I'm saying it. I have the guts to say it. Other people won't. I'm calling a spade what it is. Now, Bryce Young has that type of talent. He has shown it from time to time. But we've had all kinds of reasons why he's not been successful. Plus, his lack of skills, you know, on the field as a rookie. Can he be better if he's trained properly? Yes, he can. If you put a proper system around him, put proper offensive line protection around him, give him proper weapons that he can use in that system instead of half a dozen different system players that don't even belong here. It's the island of misfit toys at wide receiver position right now. Stick to one system. Frank had no freaking clue how to do that. And that's why we're here. No, he just directed Scott Fitter, who is a yes man, to pick up whoever the heck you wanted to pick up. Oh, it's just whoever just seems to be available. That seems to be a number one talent in their own respective team. Let's pick them up. Keeps forgetting about this, the fact that you have to have an offensive system. You have to have an offensive playbook. Like a West Coast, like an RPO, something like that. We have half a dozen system players here that were number ones in their own respective systems. And you thought this was going to work? Sir, this isn't Madden. Stop it. Put down the controller. It's not going to work. You know, screw this. I could come up with a better Madden roster than that man could. And succeed with it. Because guess what? I know exactly what I'm going after. I run a power run West Coast offense. That's what I run in Madden. I know exactly what type of players I want to pick up. West Coast power run players. It's easy. Just pick those players up. It ain't rocket science, man. And Scott just says, okay, I'm going to do what you asked me to do. But don't expect this to work. And then everybody wants to blame it on Scott because he got all the wrong draft picks and he got all the wrong people in free agency, supposedly. And then people want to say, oh, we don't have talent. That's garbage. Stop it. Your narratives are wrong. I keep hearing the same recycled garbage every week. Stop it. Y'all want to blame the man that's actually bringing these people in when it's the person that was setting up the system that was screwing it up in the first place. How about we set up an actual good system and we bring in the correct players? Not rocket science, people. If you lead the horse that is Scott Fitterer to water, he will get you results. He will get you the right players for your system. But if you lead him to a mirage, he's not going to get you anything. All you're going to find is dehydration and despair. I've been saying this week after week after week, and these people don't want to hear me. Okay, fine. I guess I'm just a broken record at this point. But somebody's got to say it. Because these people keep recycling the same media garbage every week. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. No, Justin Field is a bust. I don't want to hear anybody say different at this point. He's had plenty of time to lift the Bears to 8-8 at least, and he hasn't done it. Healthily, too. That offensive line has kept him on his feet for long enough that he can do something and get that team to at least 8-8. Yet you're calling Bryce Young a bust and we haven't even finished out 1 year with this man yet? Excuse me? When he hasn't been developed correctly? He hasn't been trained to get out of his rookie garbage nonsense? Mistakes? And who knows what he's going to look like once he gets out of that? Maybe he'll be successful. Who knows? Maybe he'll be a bust after that. Who knows? You don't know until you put a proper system around him that actually works. With the right players that will get you the results you want. Stop blaming the man and start blaming the system. At what point do you draw the line? Yes, Bryce Young is responsible for some of the mistakes he's made when he's had time in the pocket to throw it to wide open receivers. I get that. I'm taking that into account. Okay? I am taking that into account. But I'm also showing you the other side of this argument that people are completely ignoring. You're not seeing the full picture, folks. I'm painting the full picture for you. But people refuse to listen to it, so I'm just another man behind a mic and a cam, apparently. I am so sick and tired of being right about this team all the time and getting screwed over for it. But you know what? And I hate using that card too, because when have you ever seen me tout, to an egotistical level, how much I'm right? But this is why I'm on camera, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, is for you. So that you have all the facts, that you have all the information that you need to make your own decisions about this team. Don't just rely on me. Use the eye test. See for yourselves. This is what we're doing. Don't listen to the media lies. Listen to what we're actually doing. This is where we're at. Because of our dumb choices that led us here. Shout out to Ricky. Shout out to Kenny. Ricky says, we have been good since 2015 and I love the Panthers, but the truth is the truth. Facts, man. Facts. Facts. Preach your truth, Ricky. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, man. I don't think there's a single Panthers fan that can disagree with that right there. You know the difference between the 2015 team that went against the Cardinals in the NFC Championship and this team right here? There's a whole laundry list, ladies and gentlemen. There's a whole laundry list. I'm not even going to bore you with the details. And that's just scratching the surface of what's there. We haven't even got down to the fine-tuned, comb-tooth details of why these two are complete 180s. Mr. Tepper, you're destroying everything that Jerry Richardson built, man. It's disgusting. It makes me sick to my stomach to watch this as a Panthers fan. I don't know about y'all, but it makes me sick to my stomach. That is why this protest is happening in the last week of the year. But the thing is, what are you looking to get out of that protest? You want him to fire Frank Wright? He fired Frank Wright. You want him to fire Scott Fitterer? You don't know what you're asking for when you ask him to fire Scott Fitterer. Now ain't the right time. Now ain't the right time to do that. When your owner is 0 for 2 on coaching decisions right now, you really expect us to hire a good GM? The odds are heavily against that. Heavily. We're talking Las Vegas odds against it. When you're betting at the casinos type, where the house always wins type odds. That's what we're talking about here. You really trust Tepper to hire a GM? Okay, who are you hiring? Who are you actually going to hire? Because you got the guy from Pittsburgh who smells like me, looks like me, tastes like me, and of course you're gonna go that direction, Mr. Tepper, which I can't say I This is how he works. You got two guys in Kansas City right now that are chomping at the bit to get a better job. But no, we're going to hire the guy that smells like me, tastes like me, looks like me. Up in Pittsburgh. Watch that happen. Watch what I'm telling y'all. If you fire Scott, that dude is going to get hired. I'm telling you right now, as far as a head coaching though, he's not looking to win. He doesn't care about winning. That dude just cares about his bottom line. Prove me wrong at this point. And then you want to come into the head coach's office and tell him how to do his job and tell him, oh, you got to work on Bryce Young's footwork. Like, he knows that already, bro. He's a head coach for a reason. Stop micromanaging him. Stop meddling. Stop putting your foot in the door where you don't need to. Stop being an idiot. And this is the head coach that's going to be hiring our next. This is the owner that is going to be hiring your next head coach. Okay? This is the owner that's going to be hiring your next GM. You really want that? Do you really want that? That's why I say these Panthers fans don't know what they're asking for when they ask for Scott to be fired right now. Now, by all means, if you don't like the fact that he is being manipulated and led like a horse to either water or a mirage, fair enough. Fair enough. I agree with your argument. But now ain't the right time to do this. If you lead him to water, he can be successful for you. He can get the right people for you. Then what are you going to say? If you actually hire the right coach and he leads you to water, then what? Then what? Where are all those haters at? Where are all those people that are saying Scott Fitterer needs to be fired? And we have a winning season, we get in the playoffs. We are walking on thin ice one way or the other as a franchise right now. And I'll tell you what, we're about to go under that ice. Because guess who's the determining factor? Mr. Tepper. But you could easily walk on that ice. You could walk to solid ground. All you got to do is hire the right head coach. But no, Tepper's too ignorant and stupid to do that when it comes to football. He needs to be giving this team to a manager that actually understands how to do things in Carolina, that actually understands this organization and everybody in it. At this point, I recommend getting one of the older players to do this. Just be the person that you go in between to get stuff done. Steve Smith will do it for you. Shoot, Thomas Davis will do it for you. Greg Olson will do it for you. Heck, he's already offered to take the head coaching job. He's already shown interest. Let Greg Olson do it. You know, at least we'll have a name that we trust up there in the front office helping direct things. At least we'll have somebody that's actually making these decisions that are smart. That knows this organization and knows the people in it and how we do things. But Tepper has no clue. He hasn't bothered to come down to the practices. He hasn't bothered to talk to any of the players and understand how they feel every game. No, he hasn't bothered to learn anything about this franchise. And it shows every single week. And you want that hiring your next head coach? Try again. No, thank you. You want that hiring your next GM? I don't think so. Nope, try again. I'm done trying to stay positive about this franchise right now. I'm done. There's nothing positive to say right now, other than that defense has been keeping you alive all year long. Ajaro says you're welcome. Ajaro and these players on this defense said you're welcome. They didn't have to play hard for you. Oh wait, they didn't play for you at all. They played for Ajaro. So let's not act like this is Frank Wright's team or Scott Fitterer's team right now. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't at all. It was Frank Wright's team. It was Frank Wright's train wreck because he directed this train wreck. He directed it right into a brick wall. Are we really that surprised? Are we, folks? I saw the signs coming from the first preseason week, bro. I pointed them all out to you. I pointed all the red flags out to you. People didn't want to listen. Oh no, Frank Wright is the greatest. Frank Wright is this. Frank Wright is that. Oh, he's such a guru. No, he ain't. Y'all got absolutely Houdini just like the rest of us. As soon as that man was hired, you got Houdini just like the rest of us. Stop flip-flopping. I'm tired of watching all these Panthers fans flip-flopping, bro. We want change out there in the protest, but we don't even know what we want. We don't even know what we're asking for. Tepper ain't selling this team. If that's what you want, he ain't gonna do it. Stop dreaming. That's a pipe dream. If that's what you're out there for, you might as well go on home. He ain't gonna do that. You're wasting your time and your energy. Now, if you want him to hire a good head coach, and that's what you're protesting for, I'm all in. If you're protesting because you want Scott fired right now instead of later on, I can't get on board with that. I'm sorry, I can't get on board with that. Because people don't know what they're asking for. And a meaningless win does not help you right now. We are out of the playoffs. We are out of any contention whatsoever. All we're doing is hurting ourselves in the draft. From round 2 on down. Whatever picks we still have left. That the Bears haven't stolen from us. Because of our stupidity on trading. I'll be fair. It's half and half. It's half and half on trading. There's been some really good trades like Stephon Gilmore when we needed it. You know what I mean? That's worth the fourth. The value was there. Fine. Cool. You know, there's been a few trades that were worth it and good value. But as soon as you start talking about the bad trades, it's like, oh, Scott Fitter has never been good. He's never been a great GM. He's always terrible. Yeah, it is when you only look at the bad trades. You're not looking at the full picture. Again, he's a horse. You have to lead him to water in order for him to drink and be successful. You hold the bridles, sir. You hold the bridles. Any head coach that runs this team is holding the bridles. Lead him to water. Stop leading him into a mirage. Or you will get nothing but dehydration and lack of wins. Are y'all hearing what I'm telling you? Because I'm telling you, these people on Facebook are hearing me, but they're not listening. They're hearing me, but they're not listening, bro. In these Facebook groups and all these YouTubers. They're not listening. They don't want to hear that. It goes out in one ear and out the other. They don't understand how serious this is. They don't understand the risks that we are taking by trying to hire a new head coach and a new GM right now. They don't get it. Somebody's got to enlighten them. Because they're not hearing me. I don't know what else to say at this point. They don't want to hear me. They're stuck in their own tunnel vision. Okay, great. That's why I don't... Half these people are just picking up controllers and thinking, okay, I can turn whatever happens on Madden into real life. You know, and there's a quarter of this fan base that thinks that. Nah, bro. If you were put in charge of this team, you would ruin us and burn us into the ground. Those are the people I don't want touching this organization. And I thank God every day that they don't run this team. We'd be in debt so much it would actually make Uncle Sam jealous up in D.C. But I digress because I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with it. All you people that feed off of negativity and toxicity, man, you found it. Because there ain't nothing but that here in Carolina anymore. I just don't understand people that live like that. I can't understand it. Why would you not want positivity in your life? And you just feed off of negativity. And you just want negative results so you can complain all the time. I don't get it. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. But, you know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just looking at the world with a glass half empty. You know, perspective. Versus a glass half full perspective. I don't know. Shout out to Tyler Hales. I feel you. I feel the same way. Ricky says, I'm glad you see all this because I thought I was the only one. I thought I was going crazy. Nah, man, you're not going crazy, Ricky. You're not going crazy. It's just people are blinded to the truth. And they refuse to accept the truth. In this fan base. Some of them are. They refuse to look at it outside of their own little box. And I'm here to tell you, I'm always going to be that Panthers YouTuber that looks outside of the box. I'm always going to be that guy. I'm not changing. I'm not changing for nobody. I'm going to be that same guy. I'm going to call everything like it is. And if you don't like it, tough luck. Because that's how it is. We need a good coach and a good GM. Exactly, Tyler. But Tepper will never do that. Exactly. It comes down to the owner. Every time it comes down to the owner. The owner's ignorant decisions have led us here. Every single time. Every single time. You're going to take away people's best tool in their tool belt to understand who these players are by moving it out of Spartanburg? For what reason? For what reason? Just renew the contract, pay these people, and figure it out. It's not hard. All because you don't want to spend an extra $1 million to feed into Wofford. Jared Richardson cut them a check every year. He said, I don't care. I got money. What am I going to do with all this money? I'm rich as heck, man. What am I going to do with all these billions of dollars? Here you go. I'm going to help you guys out. I'm going to help you guys out. I'm going to help you guys out. That's the type of person that Jared Richardson was. And you are dishonoring his memory by not paying these people in Wofford. You're dishonoring his memory when you screwed up in York County. You're dishonoring his memory when you screw up this franchise team by making stupid, idiotic decisions that keep costing us chances of winning. Now I can understand if we're a 9-win team and we keep falling short of the playoffs. At least we have 9 wins. You know what I'm saying? At least we're competitive. Doggone it, we're at least competitive under Ron Rivera. I'm probably going to regret saying this on camera, but I miss Ron Rivera. I actually miss Ron Rivera. I miss at least some stability on this franchise. Y'all get where I'm coming from? Y'all get where I'm coming from when I say that? I mean, yeah, Ron Rivera did screw up in his last year. But it's a matter of perspective. Because cancer can change your personality. And now that I understand that he had cancer, I screwed up by getting on his butt. I screwed up. I'm eating that crow on Ron Rivera. That's why I say words matter. Words matter. You can go in and you can say whatever you want in a press room, and it don't mean jack if you're a head coach and you don't put those words into action, like Frank Wright. But that's what I've had to learn as a YouTuber, is that my words have way more influence and power than I thought they did. And I live with that guilt every day as a Panthers fan, because I was one of the people that drove Ron Rivera out for the wrong reasons. I love the guy, don't get me wrong. But he just had no fire, no spark, nothing in that last year. Now we know why. Because cancer can eat that away from you. Have you ever been around somebody that's had cancer? The energy that they put out there, you know, every day just trying to fight for their lives. It it's horrible. It is. And no wonder he didn't have that spark every day when he was going to work. No wonder he didn't have that energy when he was out on the field as a head coach. Now I understand. And it took me putting two and two together to figure this out. Because my stepfather had cancer, and the last year that he had it, his personality changed completely. He did a whole 180. And now I see. Now I understand. You know, that this is a thing. It's been a scientific study. It's real. Go look it up. You know, if you don't believe me, go look it up. But you could literally see the effects of that cancer on him through his work ethic in that last year as a Carolina Panthers head coach. Now that I look back, now I see it. It can impact your decision making. It can impact your mental stability. It can impact you emotionally. And bro, now I get it. And I'm eating that crow every day. So that's the biggest thing I've had to learn was words matter. So I've had to be a lot more careful about what I say on camera and on mic these days. But believe me when I tell you, taking all of that into account, the things that are going on right now, I have to speak my piece. I have to. Somebody's got to tell the truth. Somebody's got to be honest in this organization because it ain't going to be Tepper. It ain't going to be Frank. Chris has been probably ordered to keep his mouth shut. He ain't going to say nothing. And Ajaro's just keeping his head down. He's saying, I want no part of this. I just want a head coaching job at some point in the future. I want no part of this. I can't say I blame you, Ajaro. I can't say I blame you, dog. That's where I'm at right now. Oh, God, man. Alright, so let's talk about this Saints team. We've wasted enough time on this. David Tepper's got money. Too selfish to pay out to make our team better. Exactly. And there's several ways that he could be paying out to make us better. But, you know, I've already listed some of those. There ain't no point in going through that list again. There ain't no point. So the Saints. Let's get to some content here for this game here, because we're about 15 minutes away. Injury list, we got Isaiah Foskey, we got Taysom Hill with a foot and a left hand injury. He's questionable. Foskey is probably going to be out. Kendre Miller is out. Rashid Shaheed with a thigh injury. Derek Carr with a concussion rib and a shoulder injury. Yikes, man. Derek Carr is going through it this year. Sheesh. And he still had a full practice on Friday? That's ball. That is. Wow. That's spine right there, y'all. That's spine. That's the most football thing I've ever seen right there. You go through all those injuries and you still walk out there. You're practicing like a boss. That's durability right there, man. Sheesh. All right, Jawan Johnson, quadriceps. Eric McCoy, the center. Andres Pete, Ryan Remzik, Pete Werner, Blake Group, Chris Olave, Chris Olave is the important one, I think. Did not practice all week. He's got an illness. Nick Saldivari, I think that's how you say his name. He's a guard. Shoulder injury. But he's going to be questionable. So, I think the biggest names on here are going to be Taysom Hill. Shaheed, obviously, with the thigh injury, did not practice all week. Derek Carr, obviously. Ryan Ramsey is a big name for offensive tackle. That's somebody that's important, folks. Pete Warner is a very dangerous linebacker as well. Chris Olave, of course, is a very dangerous wide receiver. So those are the big names that I see on this injury report for them. That could impact this game, depending on if they play or not. Our list, here we go. And did not tell you, we got a laundry list of players. Here we go. You got Troy Hill with a ankle injury, limited practice on Thursday and Friday. Shout out to Corey Rucker, what's going on? Taylor Moton with a knee injury, full practice on Friday though. Okay, we might see Taylor Moton out there. We might. Deshaun Williams is out. The defensive tackle, Von Bell, full practice on Friday, so he'll probably play. Bozeman is another name I did not expect to see on this list, this late in the season. But he's still nursing that ankle injury. And limited practice all week. Jeremy Chin, quadriceps issue, limited practice all week. Gross Matos, hamstring, limited practice all week. Marquise Haynes, back injury. Finally had a full practice on Friday. Good to see that. But limited all week though. J.C. Horn, hamstring injury. Still nursing that injury that he's trying to come back from. Limited practice all week. Hayden Hurst with a concussion and concussion protocol. He is out for this game. Stephen Sullivan, shoulder injury. Full practice on Friday, even though he's limited all week. Questionable. We'll see about that one. Tommy Tremble, hip injury. Limited practice on Wednesday and Thursday. Full practice on Friday. Questionable. And Barno, ankle injury. Full practice all week. We'll probably see Barno, but in limited capacity because they don't give him any reps. They don't give him any reps at all. So, that one's not of consequence to me. There's several names on this list that are big names that could definitely impact this game. And that the Saints could definitely take advantage of. I don't like it. And I'll say this again, half these injuries happened in practice. In practice on a turf. Which, once again, Mr. Tepper, you refuse to get rid of, but the NFLPA is forcing you to get rid of. For $1 million. $1 million. You can't make this stuff up. You're literally not saving anything by not maintaining the grass field. I could understand if we were a dome team, maybe, having a turf. I would at least halfway argue about that, but turf actually injures players. Period. There's a scientific study on it. No matter what stadium you're talking about. So no, I'm not in support of turf at all. And half these players are injured because of that turf. In fact, 3/4 of this injury list were hurt because of turf. How they landed on that turf. Whether by another player, whether by injuring themselves, or by doing some drill that they're screwing up because of the lack of coaching drills from our coaching staff on turf. And you want to tell me you're not willing to spend that money to maintain grass, Mr. Tepper? This, again, we're circling back to you. We're circling back to you, sir. This is getting ridiculous. This is... Play the Benny Hill music, you know what I'm saying? You know, we're circling the wagon. Oh, God, man. Is it true that Taysom Hill is inactive? If this is true, the defense can concentrate just on pressuring Carr and Jameis. He is questionable. He's listed as questionable, Clay. But, great question. Because that does impact our game, for sure. Yeah, it's funny the players that we're actually going to have healthy for this game weren't even impactful. You know, in the last 4 or 5 games. Yeah, here we go again. You know what I'm saying? Like, Panthers inactives. This just came through my wire. Shaquille Griffin, the corner. Are you serious? We just got him. We just got Griffin. And he's already injured. This further illustrates my point. What the heck? I can't. This was supposed to be our number 4 corner that's supposed to temporarily split the reps with CJ. And he's already hurt. For what reason, bro? He got hurt in practice. This is just sickening. This team's looking like an ER room, man. It's looking like an ER room. Like an ER waiting room. People just come here just to get injured, man. Golly. Jamie Robinson's out. Iku Leota is out. Ricky Lee is out. Dude, Ricky Lee hasn't even seen the field. But twice this year. Ricky Lee hasn't even seen the field but twice this year. And he's already injured still. What are we doing? Hayden Hurst, who is barely used this year, is hurt. TMJ, who has been a healthy scratch, is hurt somehow. Again. And Deshaun Williams, who has been battling his butt off, is now injured. Once again, y'all, we can't make this stuff up. This is real. Dang it, man. I'm so fed up. Honestly, I'm so fed up. Yeah, the Saints have just confirmed Taysom Hill is out. Shaheed is out. Kendra Miller is out. Isaiah Foskey, Jake Heener, Monty Rice, PJ Musfer. I don't even know who that is. All of those people are out. But the biggest one is Taysom Hill. So that answers your question, Clay. Yeah, we can focus on Derek Carr, but I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm about to watch us lose, so talk to y'all later. Yeah, I'm about to be doing a live reaction in about 10-15 minutes. I'm going to start that up. It doesn't matter what time I jump in, though, because we ain't winning this game. Even if I'm late setting up, it's not going to matter. You know, if we start getting blown out by the Saints, I'm going to start playing Madden on the stream. I'm not even lying to y'all. I got to test this gaming laptop out somehow on this stream. What better way than Madden? Because if we're not going to win, then why bother, right? At least I can show y'all some winning football with a Panthers uniform on. Sheesh, man. Alright. I'll catch y'all in a few minutes.